Hey everyone, welcome back. Happy Thursday Eve. What do we got going on today? Bitcoin was up at the end of the day, which was kind of nice. Miners were down for the most part, except for a couple of them. We'll take a look at what happened there. Bitfarms finally provided us with their fiscal year-end numbers for 2024 and Q4 results. We'll get into it. The Q4 was actually pretty good. It came in better than what I thought it was going to come in at. So that's some good news there at least. We'll talk about all that. And then we also have a story on CoreWeave, right? Tomorrow's their big IPO. And they're actually slashing their target price or their target opening for it as well. We'll talk about that really quick. And that's basically it. That's all I got for you guys. We'll get into Q&A. All right, so it should be pretty short and sweet. As always, not financial advice for entertainment only. Please do your own research. Full disclosure below that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin here right now. So Bitcoin actually came pretty close to our 200 simple day moving average line, which is the green line, red line, green line, red line, green line. So we came pretty close to that. We got down to a low of 85,784, and then we bounced from that, which was kind of nice. So we did end up in the green here. We're up 0.34%. It is kind of trading sideways here a little bit right now with maybe a little bit of downward pressure. Not too bad, but at least it's still holding above that 200 simple day moving average. That still is good overall, but we'll see how that continues going forward here. Markets were down today as well. Everything was down today. Everybody's kind of panicking with all this uncertainty that we have right now in the United States, which I understand why everybody's panicking, right? I would be too as well, but I'm looking at this at a longer time frame than just a short time frame, and maybe that's wrong on my part, maybe. I don't know. Time will tell. We'll find out Q3, Q4 this year if this was the wrong thing to do or not. So we'll take that bet. We'll see where we get from there. MicroStrategy was down today as well. It was down 1.43%. Bitfarms was down actually 3.45% on the day. It actually got probably a new all-time low, or a new 52-week low at 93 cents. Let's take a look at the 1 year on it, and I think that's going to be 93 cents is the recent low on it. BitDeer was down 2.27% as well. Cypher was down 5.2%. That's the new 52-week low for it as well. It was down to 252. Cleanspark down 3.39%. It's still at 785, still above its low. CORZ was actually up today, 3.28%, surprisingly enough. It did take a beating here over the last 2 days, so a nice little bounce back on that one. Hive was down 4% as well. It came pretty close to its 52-week low of $1.60 there, might have even touched it. Hut 8 was down 3.63%. It's at 1246 right now. IREN was down 3.73%. It is still way above its prior low. Mara down 1.09%. 3-day losing streak here on Mara. Riot was down 1.65% as well. Wolf was actually up 0.69%. It's still way above its previous 52-week low here. Smaller miners were also a little bit mixed here. Mawson being the biggest loser there, being down 5.53%. The ETFs were down as well today on that one. Gold was actually up. I mean, gold continues to go up here, right? Everything else is going down, but gold is a safe haven, it looks like right now. Bitcoin, equities are going down. Everything's going down except gold. Gold's going up. Everybody's cashing out there, going into gold, going into something secure. One of these days, Bitcoin may be that secure asset there. We'll see. What else do we have here? GameStop was down huge today, 22% after the news here that they're getting the convertible debt. And I think the market didn't like it for some reason or another, that they're using debt to buy Bitcoin. They should have possibly been using what they have on stock in hand as far as cash is concerned. So yeah, that one took a big dump here today, 22% down on the day. It finished out at $22.09, back to where it was just about a week ago or so, back on the 14th of March here. So that's where we are. Let's take a look at the network hash rate really quick while we're at it, see where that is. We haven't done that in a couple of days. See how that's trending. It's still trending in the upwards direction here, 840 exahash on the 7-day moving average. 30-day average, let's see what that one looks like. It is, okay, that one's definitely climbing up here. That's the new high here of 818 exahash. So things might be getting plugged in here over the past month. We'll find that out next week when they start reporting the production results for March here. So that's going to be interesting there. And Bitcoin right now is actually down still for the month, 6.88, or for the quarter, 6.88%. And for the month, it's still actually up 3.18%. So we got a couple more days. We'll see where it ends. There's still some people calling that Bitcoin should get to like 94,000, whatever it is, 96,000 by the end of March. We got basically 4 days to do that. We'll see if we can do that. Right now where it is, might be a little tough, but you never know. All right, next one here is on CoreWeave. So CoreWeave IPO valuation slashed. NVIDIA commits $250 million. So the CoreWeave, a company originally focused on Ethereum mining before pivoting to AI cloud computing, has revised its IPO valuation down to about 23 billion from a previously floated 30 billion. The company plans to offer 37.5 million shares at $40 each, aiming to raise approximately 1.5 billion. NVIDIA, a key partner, has committed to anchoring the IPO by purchasing 250 million worth of the shares at this price, reflecting a strategic move amid skepticism about the sustainability of AI infrastructure business, right? And the big concern there is also that CoreWeave has a lot of the contracts with Microsoft. And Microsoft seems, at least some analysts are saying that they've been slashing growth targets on their HPCI, or at least on their megawatts they're going to be building out here in the next couple of years. So that's kind of interesting, right? But I think they're slashing the price because of the market, the way the market is right now. The market, I don't think, would catch a premium for them right now as it is. So that's why we have what we have here, a little bit of a decrease in what they're being valued at right now. Okay, so that's that one. Bitfarms here really quick. So Bitfarms was kind enough to finally report their fiscal year-end results for 2024, along with the fourth quarter results. I did listen into the earnings call this morning, and the questions was actually pretty good. Nothing out of ordinary, anything that was very interesting that we haven't heard before. The only good thing that I heard there was that they should have enough cash to basically fund the operations and whatever they want to do this year. So they're not looking to dilute much, at least, is what they said. We'll see if that's the case going forward here. But down here, you guys can definitely read this. I thought this was kind of interesting. So we do have a clear path to 1.4 gigawatts of power capacity. Right, currently energized at 461 megawatts. By the end of second half, year end, I believe this is going to be 500 megawatts total. So United States is going to be 39%, Canada is going to be 34%, and then sometime in the year 2026, they're going to be up 592, so another 92 megawatts being installed there. And then they're looking, 2028 possibly, that they're going to have the whole 1.4 gigawatts. So not a lot of growth here happening this year. So we'll see how the stock does based on that. The good thing is, like I said, possibly they might not be diluting as much as they have here in the past. They're done with the acquisition of Stronghold. All that is done, they sold their site as well in Paraguay to a Hive. They're going to be getting some cash from that. That should help, keep them going for maybe a couple quarters here. One thing that they've also changed here is current hash rate, 18.6 exahash. I have them at 16 something, but they're using exahash under management. So they're not splitting that out between what's actually theirs and what's hosted. I'd like to see them split that up. It'd be much better, I believe, for us going forward. And then here's what we have. So Q4 2024 financial highlights, total revenue 56 million, a little bit higher than where I had them at. So maybe they were selling at better prices than I average, every day selling on average more or less. Gross mining margin of 47%, down from 57%. General administrative expense of 18 million compared to 13 million Q4 of last 2023. And then operating loss of 16 million compared to an operating loss of 13 million in Q4. Net income of 15 million or 3 cents per basic and diluted share compared to a net loss of 62 million or 21 per basic and diluted share in Q4 23. I had them coming in at basically break even around zero. So this is a nice little increase from where I had them at. And then adjusted EBITDA was 14 million or 25% of revenue, down from 16 million or 35% of revenue of Q4. And then the company earned 654 BTC at an average direct cost of production around 40. And total cost of production is around, they're saying 60. I have them at like 64, I think. So we're pretty close to where they are right now on that. And we'll take a look at the break-even numbers for all the miners tomorrow in tomorrow's video. Today we're just going to go over Bitfarms here really quick, get into Q&A, and we'll call it a day. Because I'm actually a little tired. It's been a busy week. So let's get into Bitfarms here really quick. So Bitfarms, as of today, has 553 million shares outstanding roughly. Market cap 525 million as it is. Performance over the last 12 weeks has not been great, but it has been great for all the miners as well. So they're not in this by themselves. We've talked about, obviously, their production in the past, so I'm not going to get into it. Quarterly metrics, here we go. So revenues are increasing for them. Q4 came in 56, right? This current quarter, I'm estimating about 61 million. So we'll see how close we get to that. We're obviously ending the first quarter here right now as it is in the next couple of days. So we'll see how close we get to that. Last 4 quarters operating costs have come down, which is good, from 55 million to 50 million. Like seeing that. And then cost of mining 1 Bitcoin minus depreciation, I'm at 44,000. I believe they said they were at 40-some thousand. Yeah, so I'm only off by like 4,000 somehow on them. So they might be taking out something that I'm not taking out. Bitcoin mined quarterly, 654. That is down from Q3, just a little bit, not much. Debt to equity has continued to come down, which is good, right? Lower is better. And then current ratio has also increased to 5.8. That's also good. Healthy balance sheet there. That's good to see. Total current assets also increased to 213. Total current liabilities fell down to 36 million. So they have plenty of assets right now to cover current liabilities at least. Going down here into their numbers, we can see, we'll get into some of these numbers here in a second here. I mean, there's not really anything major here that sticks out in my head. At least that's a big change from where we saw them in Q3 on the numbers. The big thing was cash and cash equivalents was down a little bit here, about, what is that, 13 million or so. So that's not too bad still, but nonetheless, still current assets increased. Total assets also, let's see here, property and plant, that actually went up to 348 million for them. That was actually a pretty good increase of 100 million there roughly. And let's see, long-term deposits, equipment, that's been down a little bit here to 56, so they've been paying that down, it looks like. Liability-wise, things have decreased as well. Trade payables and accrued liabilities was down to 25 million from 34. That's good. Overall liabilities, current liabilities, right, 36 million from 51, so that's good. Total liabilities is 59, down from 74, so that's also good. And then total liabilities and stockholder equity is actually up to 667 million from 586, so that's good. And then revenues here. They came in at 56 million, right? Expenses came in at about 15 million or so. That includes energy infrastructure was 28 million of that. Depreciation was 24 million of that, so basically half. A lot of that, and the purchases of electrical equipment and things like that were actually, looks like they were down, but I think they moved stuff over from here. Electrician salaries and payroll actually got put into one category, it looks like, instead of having these separated out. Okay, so that came in at 4 million for the whole year. And it looks like, based on this, would have been a small number there if you include these in here on top of that. Right, so going down here, gross profit minus depreciation came in approximately 56% for the Q4. For the full year, came in at 22%. There we go, operating expenses. Salaries and share-based payments came down to 2.4 from 7.4. That's actually nice to see that. Share-based payments actually went up about 2 million. So a little bit of a swap-a-roo there happening. Professional services came down nicely here to 5.2 from 11.7. Also, what else do we have here? Selling and general administrative came way down from 27 million to 18 million. Love seeing that. Insurance went up a little bit. Travel went down a little bit. Hosting, accommodation, or hosting and telecommunications went up a little bit. Advertising promotions went down. Good, like seeing that as well. So overall, operating income was a negative 16 or negative 18 million. Finance income, right, from what they made was about 5.4 million roughly. For the year was 68, and then net loss came in at 54 million for the year. I believe it's about 15 million profit for them on that one. And that's how we got 3 cents per share for the quarter. I'm guessing somewhere around 500 million shares is what the average was roughly for the quarter. Maybe, I'm not exactly sure. But for the year was 414 million, and they had a loss of negative 13 cents on the year. So fourth quarter is actually pretty good. A lot of things have been improved on, which we like to see. The only thing I can say about the conference call is the growth, right? Ben did say that they're not going to grow for the growth's sake. They're going to do it with capital in mind and return on investment, okay, which is fine. And they're progressing with their plans for HPC AI. That's the path they're going with as well. And like they said, they aren't looking to have any major expenses on new rigs or anything like that to bring up their exahash in Bitcoin mining, at least not this year. Okay, so here's what we have. Came in at 44,000 roughly to mine 1 Bitcoin minus depreciation. Talked about debt to equity and current ratio. Book value is about 607 million. Price to book ratio 0.865. Enterprise value 446. EBITDA was 6.2 million. EV to beta was 71.21. Debt to beta was 9.49. And then general administrative compensation was 18, so it's 32%. That actually went down from where we were in Q3, which is good, but it is still higher than where we were in Q2, but they have brought on more people. Okay, so I can understand why that's happening. And as long as Bitcoin continues to stay where it's at, or at least goes up, that should help them along the way, right? But they need to grow still, all right? So that's what we got here for them. Right now, they appear to be way undervalued, just like everything else is way undervalued right now as it is. Don't know when that's going to change. The only thing that I can think of that would make it change is some certainty in the market, which right now we don't have. When that's going to happen, I don't know. If you guys know, we'd definitely love to hear that, but I just don't know when that's going to happen. So in an interim time, I think we're going to be in a volatile place with the miners especially, possibly going down even more, even if Bitcoin trades sideways here for a little bit longer. So yeah, I mean, I still own some shares in Bitfarms. I'm at a loss right now on these guys. I sold, as you guys know, 2/3 of my position here over the last, probably since when? Since I think like December, November of last year. I've been slashing that as we've been getting news of them not hitting their targets and postponing their targets and then lowering their targets as well. So I've been kind of selling out of that because that was the main reason why I got into them, was the growth and good operations. But since the growth is slowing down, I sold out, like I said, 2/3 of that. That was all in profit there. And then the current shares that I do have are underwater by a little bit, 30% down. So I think even with, if I sell now the rest of the stuff that I do have with Bitfarms, I will probably still be in the green overall from, selling 2/3 at much higher prices as they were before. Okay. So yeah, that is it. The only thing I can say is they really just need to continue to grow as best as they can. Hopefully they get something for HPCI business there. It does seem like they have a promising site with the Stronghold sites, but that's going to take time to build out. It's going to be also costly. So we'll have to wait and see how they do. But I definitely like the fact that they're more targeting the United States for growth and things like that. So I got to think about it to see whether or not I want to sell or if I want to actually dollar cost average it down maybe some more on this one. I'll be thinking about that probably over the weekend, and we'll decide what we want to do once we hear from their March update for operations. All right, that is all I got for you guys. And then, like I said, just a quick spoiler alert for you guys for tomorrow. We're going to do the break even on the miners here. Where'd it go? There it is. We're going to do just a quick peek, a little tease. There it is. We'll take a look at it tomorrow. Okay, so I got all the figures in there for all these guys, and things look a little spicy. Okay, so that is it. If you guys want access to all these spreadsheets, everything that I do, link for that is down in the descriptions through Patreon. Help support what I do, and I greatly appreciate you guys that are there, along with you guys coming in here to watch as well. Greatly appreciate it. Definitely makes it possible for me to do this. Because if I wasn't making anything, I think my wife would probably hang me. And if I was spending so much time on it, that'd be a waste of time, right? So I would definitely understand that at that point. Okay, let's get into Q&A here. We'll call it a day and see what else we want to talk about. All right, let me scroll back over here. As always, if you guys could preface the question with a question mark or a Q, definitely appreciate it. And I'm going to work my way up a little bit and find some questions, and we'll work our way down. So bear with me. I will get to all your guys' questions as always. We'll pull some comments as well. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Don says, Bitfarms stock tanked today, so assuming the market didn't care for these results. I don't know if it was the results. I think it's just the market overall. It's going down. Everything's going down for the most part. This one was good from Don. Here, Bitfarms is trying to hire Chuck Norris. Yep. After that, we're going to get Rambo and Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. Let's see. What else we got here? Sadie, thank you so much for the thumbs up. Done. Okay. Are you expecting anything good from PCE data coming out tomorrow? I think it's going to be probably a little lower, right? I think we'll see, but I think it's going to be a little bit lower from where things were, or what the excuse me, what the expectations are. Might be just 0.01% or whatever it is, but I think it might be a little bit lower. It's a question for you. What metrics are you currently using as a proxy for Bitfarms being undervalued? Based on what other miners are also getting valued at, right? So if you look at like enterprise value to exahash, or for Bitcoin, whatever you want to look at it, their revenues, where Bitcoin is right now, their profit margins more or less a little bit as well. There's just all those things that go into it. It seems like they're being way undervalued. A lot of these guys are way undervalued right now as it is. Mark, Cleanspark, IREN, Cypher are all being undervalued, even Riot as well. So, but I mean, they're all down like 30, 40, 50% from where we were just 3 months ago. So yes, they are definitely way down. Minor Digihost says BTC is toxic. Seems like anything owning or buying it gets destroyed in the last couple months. Yeah, it does seem like that. Alexander says, have you looked at the correlation of Russell, BTC, and miners? It looks like BTC leads miners directionally, and Russell magnifies the leverage we get. Yeah, there's definitely a correlation between the Russell 2000, I think it is, and the miners. We've been seeing that as well, where that's going down, the miners are following as well. All right. What are your thoughts on why IREN is a buy? Okay. Tomorrow's video, I'll show you guys what their cost to mine a Bitcoin is, break-even price, right? That is actually really, really good. That's one reason. very efficient miner as well. Huge growth pipeline potential for HPCI or even just their Bitcoin mining in general, if they want to go that way. So those are some of the reasons there that I would think it was a good buy. Okay, Kaz has a question here. All metrics look good. Bitfarms still down. What gives? Market is down. Everything is down. It doesn't matter. I think they could have reported they had, $1 or something per share in revenue. They probably still would have been down. It's just the market sentiment right now. Everything is like flowing out of the United States and going into like Europe and elsewhere, it seems like. I've seen a couple charts on that today as well. Yeah, Alexander, exactly. Metrics don't mean much when there's panic. And that's kind of what we're seeing here right now. Let's see. Cleanspark is funded to 50 exahash. They said they won't need to dilute till 24, but things are stretching out more than thought. When will they need to dilute again or sell BTC? Well, I think they don't have to do that until maybe at the end of like maybe Q3 or Q4 sometime. Or if Bitcoin or if their stock price gets to $24, right, that triggers something that they have to then buy some shares or convert some shares, I believe, at that point. So that's still a ways out. In a few words, is it worth holding Bitfarms? Well, I gotta be honest with you guys. Like I said, I've been selling, over the last probably 4 months or so. I've sold 2/3 of my position in Bitfarms. So I can't really tell you it's worth holding. The only thing that might be worth holding is that they can execute pretty well on the Stronghold acquisition. But even their timeline here now looks like 2028 by the time we get to full 1.4 gigawatts potential. Right, there's some regulatory hurdles that they have to go through as well to get approved for additional megawatts. That's not 100% given that that's going to happen. There's always some uncertainty in that. So yeah, it's one of those things where you want to maybe put a little bet on it, see where it goes. All right. Question: do you think Bitfarms should have sold to Riot for 230? Well, they got even higher than 230, right? Last year, a little bit. They got to like $3 something before everything started going down for them and all the mess that they had with the board of directors and everything else, right? So a lot of this stuff was self-inflicted, I think, on their part. But it does seem like they're turning things around. And Ben's been now the CEO for, 7-8 months, something like that? And it's going to take a little bit more time for that ship to turn around. But they're working towards that, so we'll see. Alexander says, if you own Bitfarms now, it is too late to sell unless you got in at a really low price, like in December of 2022 when they were like 30 or 40 cents. Said, when will Bitfarms X10? Gosh, when Bitcoin goes up 200 some plus thousand, I don't even know if we'll go X10 at that point. I think that at that point we might be lucky if we get still like 3 to 5x out of it. But I see your comments every day in my videos. Thanks for posting the comments, though. I appreciate it. Alexander says, never. All right, question is CoreWeave IPO tonight impacting the miners' price? I think it's hurting all that have mentioned AI, especially CORZ. Recently, the miners that have been dealing with HPC AI, directly or indirectly, have been beaten up even more than like the regular pure play miners. Typically, what we talked about was Cleanspark, Marathon, and Riot in the past, but Riot's now more into HPC AI as well. But even that one didn't get beat down as much. But the other ones, they got a huge pump last year, but they're paying the price on it this year, unfortunately. So if you got into them last year and sold closer to the top, congratulations. You guys have done probably very, very well. On that one, there's no shame in taking profits at all. Let's see. Ben said they can produce some BTC per day, 300 BTC a month, and if BTC gets to 125, they can produce around 75% profit. If that happens, Bitfarms can earn 60, only on BTC production. Correct. Yeah, so we need Bitcoin to go up. Their costs have come down tremendously, which is nice to see. So definitely like seeing that. So definitely makes it more profitable if Bitcoin goes up. Cass says so many Debbie Downers in the chat. It's understandable. I mean, look at the markets over the last couple of weeks, months. It's no fun. It's not a pleasure cruise for sure. Hank says, so much adoption news. Daily miners will get their day. Gut check time, folks. It is definitely gut check time. All right. Let's see, more Tim. Hank, thanks, Seb. Have a good night. You too, buddy. Thanks for coming in. And thanks for also posting, as always. All right. I think I've cut up to all you guys' questions here. So we're probably going to call it a day here, possibly. Tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow we'll look at the miners as far as what is their break-even price on mining Bitcoin. And the way I do that, I look at the Q4 results, extrapolate the data, move it forward into where they are right now mining and what their hash rate is and stuff like that to see what their current break-even numbers might be at, okay? So we'll look at that. We'll look at anything else that happens tomorrow. Otherwise, I bid you guys a good day. Thanks so much for coming in. Love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow.